Hi, we're here at the Sydney Mining Club with Carl Simic of Sandfire Resources, the hottest mining story in Australia for the past 5 years. Carl, would you tell us please what's unique about Sandfire?
Thanks very much, Dave, and thanks very much for having me here. Sandfire is a very unique story. It's been an incredible, explosive event that's occurred in Sandfire in terms of the exploration success, an amazing greenfields discovery, and is testament to all those hard work and effort that occurs in lots of parts of Australia where people are going out looking for greenfields early exploration success. It has only been, David, 3 years actually since the commencement or the discovery was made. And really what's unique about Sandfire is, I suppose there are 3 key points for us, is it's the quality of the ore body. It is an ore body that runs at 5 to 6% base metals content with also 2 grams per tonne gold. That is, in world standards, something like 10% greater than the average grade for a similar type of copper ore body in the world. So you've got that uniqueness about the incredible grade that this deposit is. Located in an area that was thought to have been pretty much exhausted from a geological perspective. Not very far away from another major gold mine in the Barrick Plutonic Gold Mine. So that unique situation of it being in the middle of Western Australia, central Western Australia, and making what probably is the highest grade ore body discovered in the last decade or 2 in Australia. So that is incredibly unique. And what it means is for us is it's a business then that will make significant profits. It's insulated against incredible market downturns, as we're seeing softening at the market at the moment, but long term we think there is a great demand in the market. So that uniqueness is its grade. I think the other amazing thing is we have, and the people that we have got, have been able to assemble this information and have been able to take the project from discovery into production and in fact first cash flow, which was received last month, within 3 years. So that is extraordinary to be able to go through that process of and all the aspects of development that one needs to go through, whether it be indigenous, environmental, licensing, geological, geotechnical, metallurgical, funding and many other things, all occurred and were settled in that 3-year period to enable us to get to that point. So I suppose that's the second unique thing for us. The third unique thing I think is it's a brand new geological discovery in a province that really wasn't considered to host this type of geology. There were some little flutterings of it some 20 years ago when there was a small copper gold mine there called Horseshoe Lights, but essentially it was left untouched. There was lots of exploration, then was essentially considered to be devoid or maybe the potential wasn't there. We were looking for gold, and in the process of looking for this gold in the middle of the GFC, we uncovered what were the most spectacular copper results I think the world has seen for some time. And when you have intersections that run 20 or 53 metres at 17% copper, and the first 10 metres of the first diamond hole ran 25% copper in primary sulfide mineralisation, it's exceptional. But the most important point about the third key aspect that makes us unique, I think, is the fact that the geology is all brand new. The geology is all being looked at again, and especially in regard to the type of geology, which is a volcanogenic massive sulfide ore body, is that they normally form in clusters, they normally have multiple lenses, they go very deep and they're high grade. So we see it from the sense that our exploration in a regional sense hasn't even started. And with a bit of luck, the best is yet to come. Right. So I think they're the 3 key points.
Could you give us an overview of the company's assets?
Sure. The company's assets predominantly, and our focus is the company is the DeGruza copper gold mine. We have a few other interesting little projects in Australia. In fact, the reason why our strategic shareholder in POSCO, the 4th, 5th largest steel producer in the world, took their investment in us 4 years ago was essentially for our manganese interests. So we have the periphery things that we do have, manganese, iron ore, potentially copper and a number of other commodities in the Northern Territory. We have a large ground holding of somewhere in the order of 10,000 square kilometres in the Northern Territory, and we think it's highly prospective. A lot of work needs to be done. It is not for the faint-hearted. There's large risks involved and large exploration costs involved, but nonetheless in parts of the world that have been underexplored dramatically. So that is one element. there are some small projects in Western Australia, but really the key focus, and where all the value is ascribed to at the moment, is the Degrees copper gold mine and the greater what we call the Dulguna region, which is that area of interest. So that's pretty much it.
So Carl, what do you see as the catalysts over the next 12 months?
I think for the next 12 months for us, absolute watershed for us. There are a number of milestone events that will occur. Whilst a lot of success has occurred to date, and it's been quite enjoyable, hitting the target, and especially hitting the target in an environment where maybe we're seeing some less than exciting news out there in the world resources sector, in the world economies, and other parts of the world. But for us specifically, we have completed just now the first shipment of ore and have made our first sales. The next element for us will be the delivery of the plant on time and on schedule. And as we sit at the moment, everything with regard to this project is on time and is on budget. So that is very rewarding to know that we've been able to stick to the plan and the budget with our good people and good management of that process. So delivery of the plant on time and on budget is critical. To obviously then commission that and to get into steady state operations through the back end, Q3 and Q4 of this calendar year are critical milestones for us to achieve, and to commence selling that concentrate, which is some of the best copper concentrate the world will see in terms of its cleanness, to customers around the world, which we're working on at the moment. So I think those things from an operational point of view, completion of construction and steady state operations are critical, and I believe the company will be and get a normal re-rating from those things. The other aspect is aggressive exploration along strike and at depth. So where we sit at the moment, and given the nature of the geology, there is huge potential at depth and along strike. And as they say, the old adage is, you know, good mines get better, bad mines get worse. We would like to think there is a lot more to be had, and so it'll be the other key aspect of the next 12 months and catalyst to further growth and value will be exploration success as well.
What's your access to infrastructure like?
Infrastructure, for us, we have absolutely been blessed in terms of where we are. I suppose the one point is it would have been nicer to have the discovery made closer to a port. We seem to be equidistant between almost Geraldton and Port Hedland. We're presently using Geraldton as a shipping point, but we will move to Port Hedland soon. But other than that, that distance to get to the ports, in terms of infrastructure, it is fantastic. We are located, the discovery is, and the mine is 6 kilometres east of the Great Northern Highway. We're about 110 kilometres north of Meekatharra. And so we find that from a logistical point of view, we have great road access, we have great technological access in terms of the fibre optic cable runs along the Great Northern Highway. We've been able to tap into that. And then from things like water access has been very good for us in that general region. And then we've been able to, because of those logistical positive things for us, is then been able to improve on that by having things like a totally sealed airstrip and great other logistical things for us to make our site one of the most attractive sites to work in Australia probably. And
finally, could you give us a snapshot, please, Carl, of the board and management?
The board and management, essentially we run a fairly lean ship. We've got 2 executive directors and 3 non-executive directors. We have a complement of Derek Lafurler, a partner in Norton Rose in Perth, as our chairman, and we have Mr. Rob Scott and SC Shul, our Korean representative, on the board as well, from our 16% shareholder. So that's very good from an operational sense and an executive sense. Myself as CEO have been in the mining industry for the last 25 years. I'm an accountant by trade, but have been in the mining industry for 25 years in the junior to mid-sized resource sector, bringing now on stream the 6th mine that I've been involved in. So very good. So that's sort of, and John Evans, the technical exploration director, who he and his team were responsible for this discovery. John is in his early 60s, and John has been responsible, ex-iron ore chap, have been responsible for some iron ore discoveries historically, and spent a long time in the Western Australian mining industry. At a management level, we have some fantastic guys, headed by Martin Reid, our project manager. Martin is building, it's probably maybe not the number, but close to his 10th mine, and has got an incredible amount of experience, and is an incredibly competent individual delivering on precisely what he said he was going to do. Matt Fitzgerald, our CFO, has worked with me for the last 10 or 12 years, an incredibly competent young individual. Robert Klug, our commercial officer, and Shannon Bamforth, our geological person responsible for all the exploration up at DeGruza and Bilgunna. So a really competent, and through that what you've got is a very competent, experienced team. It's nice to be, we've got a lot of grey hair around, we've also got a lot of enthusiasm, proprietary management through that group that are very interested in adding value for shareholders, I think more so than worrying about concerns of their job and things like that. So we really have got a very motivated, highly focused group of individuals in that management group that are all working as hard as everyone else. And there's no sort of anyone's more important than anyone else. Everyone's pulling very hard within the whole group. So, you know, and it goes down into the mine management, and all the staff on site are all working as hard as everyone throughout the whole organisation. So great compliment to people. We're very lucky.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks very much for your time.